Hey everyone, and today we're taking a look at Nendoroid Tenya Iida from the series My Hero Academia, and you know about My Hero Academia. And Tenya is a character that I actually find pretty interesting. I wish he had more screen time, I wish he popped up more in the manga, just because living up to the hero that his brother was and the family Tenya Iida name, there's a whole lot to unpack there, and I wish he had more of that. But as it stands now, he's the class rep, he's good at his job, and he's just a supportive, solid character. And I was looking forward to the Nendoroid. I thought it was going to be pretty good, but I will just say this, I am pretty blown away with how good it is. It's better than good. It's pretty great, actually. So, taking a look at the box, and it is a standard Nendoroid box. It's nothing special. I do like the color blue they chose for him, but other than that, nothing really special going on here. Nendoroid 1428, My Hero Academia up there. Let's get into it. Starting off, we have the standard Nendoroid stand and support arm, which can plug into the back of the figure. Always appreciated. There's nothing really more to say about this. Getting to the figure itself, and I think that the costume design translates better in Nendoroid form than it actually looks like. The Tenya Iida's Ingenium costume design is not something that I'm particularly fond of, but I think in Nendoroid form, where all the shapes and armor is simplified, it actually looks better to me. But I want to point out some paint stuff we got going on the actual figure itself. So he has this undersuit right here, and it's in a matte dark blue. Then he's got these white armor pieces, which are kind of a satiny plastic. I don't believe they're painted. I believe it's just bare plastic. And then all of this is accompanied by these nice little highlights of gold and silver, and that really ties it all together. We got 3 different kinds of paint textures coming together here, and it looks really good. And I can't really say more about how I'm impressed with how this turned out. Over here, coming to the back, even the back is interesting with these giant exhausts coming around the side. These little tiny exhausts now on the back of his calves look really cute in Nendoroid form, and this figure just feels smart to me. It feels like it knows what it's doing, and we'll get into that in a little bit later. But first impressions, yeah, he stands out. It's definitely his costume translated in Nendoroid form, and there's not really more for me to say about that. Moving on, and before we get into his accessories, I think we should go over articulation just a little bit. This is a articulated Nendoroid, which is typical of the My Hero and superhero variety, so nothing really new here, although I was a bit impressed with how smart the design is. But the head can swivel all the way around, look up and down, depending on how far you pull it out. His arms can move out this far and rotate all the way around, but they can pop off, so be careful of that. Biceps swivel, 90-degree bend at the elbow, and the hands are on these swivels. No ab crunch or arching back, but he can swivel around at the waist. He can swivel all the way around. His legs can move up this far, which is not very far, back this far, which is pretty impressive, and out this far, which is pretty impressive. 90-degree bend at the knee, and the feet are on ball joints, so you get a little bit of swivel and tilt. But I want to talk about this part right here. This Nendoroid hides its articulation really well, and it's because of this little divot that you see right there, that little arrow going down into the bend. It makes it look like that it's part of the costume, so you can't really tell it's articulated, which is really impressive. Now you can tell when he bends his knee because this isn't painted white, but I was just impressed by that and I wanted to mention it. Getting up to the actual face and hair sculpt, and the hair is a lot bluer than I think it is supposed to look. I believe Tenya has really dark blue hair and is technically black, but for this Nendoroid, it's a richer blue. You can see the highlights right here going around his old noggin, and there's the darker blue there, but the highlights really pop out, and it makes his hair look way more bluer than I think it's supposed to look. And I don't have a problem with that. I like it when Nendoroids are more vibrant and colorful than they usually are, so it's a plus for me, but it's something I should notice. Sculpt is really good. Tenya's hair is not overly exciting, but I think this does a really great job in capturing it. His faceplate, though, I think is even better than all of that. Tenya's face, again, translates wonderfully in this Nendoroid style, and I think he looks better in Nendoroid form all across the board. The costume looks better, his face looks better, he looks confident but kind of cute, so they did a good job there. And this first expression is a confident Tenya Iida. I love that he has this tiny smile. You can barely see it, but you definitely can tell that he's smiling here. His eyes are strong and powerful, and the glasses work really well. I love it when Nendoroids have glasses. It's just kind of a cute little thing. But they frame his face well. It's definitely Tenya. Let's move on to the second expression. Alright, and this second expression is a pissed off Tenya Iida, or a really tired Tenya Iida. I think he's pissed, and I think Stain is probably somewhere behind him. And I love how this looks. I love how different it is from the first one, so that's always a plus for me. I love that he's looking off to the side. I do think that these kinds of faces can limit you in what you can pose him like, but he makes up for it later, so the fact that this is specific to Tenya being pissed and looking off to his left, quite enjoy it. He's got a little sweat right there, the mouth is cute, and the eyes, again, are aggressive. And when the eyes are looking off to the side, I think it just adds a bit more character. I like that the default face he's looking forward, but for this specific face, I think it did a great job. Moving on to his third and final expression, and it is actually underneath this helmet that is included for his true hero costume look, and let's go over how you're going to take this apart. So, you're going to start with these little ear flaps, and they just come off like that. Then you're going to take the top of this biker helmet, pop it off. Then you're going to come around the sides, take this mask off, like so. And there we go, his third expression, a very angry, screaming Tenya Iida. I guess he's not angry, he's just enthusiastic about whatever he's talking about, and that is definitely true to the character. And this third and final expression is pretty much what I think of when I think of Tenya. He's screaming, he's not necessarily angry, but he's loud and he's giving orders, and he is a true-born leader. So I do really like this. I think it's also really cute while also kind of maintaining the seriousness that Iida has. So across the board, all the expressions have been really great. And the greatest thing about this specific Nendoroid is that it comes with technically 4 different expressions. It comes with 4 different looks for him. So you get the 3 faceplates, but then you also get this helmet, which we're going to put back together right now. So you don't have to have the head in there. You can just have the 3 faces off and put this back together without it. And I do quite like that. So you take this mask, put it back on like so. Take the top of the biker helmet, put it on like that. Take these side vents, and you're going to want to have the vents facing forward and pointing down. And there we have Tenya Iida's Ingenium helmet ready to go. Let's put it on the body. Alright, and here we have Tenya Iida in his full costume look with the helmet on, and I'm not a huge fan of the helmet, although, again, I think it does a better job in Nendoroid form. All the shapes are simplified, which I think helps looking at it. It's not as busy and distracting as I think it looks in the anime or manga, so again, I think he looks better in Nendoroid form, which is quite strange to say. I don't usually have that opinion. That being said, I don't love the helmet. I mean, it is the true hero costume look, so for those reasons I like it, but it's not my favorite. I'd rather see Tenya's face. Still though, having the helmet and 3 different expressions does put this Nendoroid on top, I think. For now, in 2021, it is one of the better Nendoroids. He comes with a lack of accessories, so that does bring him down a bit, but I think I would always rather have more expressions than accessories. That might be a hot take. Moving on, and we're not done with the head just yet, he comes with these glasses, which you can see tab into the sides of the hair right there, so you can take them out. And there you're going to have Tenya Iida without his glasses on, but that's not where the amount of expressions stops. Because apart from the standard Nendoroid glasses that he's packaged with, He comes with these two pairs of glasses, ones that have this anime white sheen on them. It's very anime-esque. And these smaller ones which he can hold. So technically, if you think about it, you have 3 different faces with 3 different pairs of glasses. That's 9 different looks for the character, plus the helmet, that's 10 different looks for the character. And I'm saying that technically it is, but I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. So here we have that pissed off expression, and without his glasses, you can actually see the sweat bead a little bit more, and he does look really tired. So that's what I'd say this expression is. He's just tired, he's a little pissed off, but mostly you can see the sweat. He's been running quite a bit. Then you put the glasses on and it kind of distracts from that sweat bead, and he just looks straight up pissed, like he's angry at one of his classmates or a villain or something like that. So there is a different look for him. And finally, we get these white glasses on, and now I think he looks scared. I think he's seen something. He's seen a villain attack one of his classmates. He looks terrified. There's the sweat bead, and it completely changes the look for me. That's my personal opinion. You're welcome to disagree with it, but I think that these glasses change pretty much all the looks that he comes with. So what was once a confident smile now becomes a smirky, full of himself smile, and all that is just because you can't see his eyes anymore, and he has this nice anime white sheen on the glasses. Moving on to his accessories, and he doesn't come with pretty much anything. I mean, that's not true, but it's not a lot. So starting with his hands, and he comes with 2 pairs of hands and an extra right hand. Starting with the ones that he's packaged with, and he comes with these open action hands. These are nice. He can put them on his hips. There's a nice heroic Tenya Iida right there. You can even adjust his glasses with them a little bit. There's something you could do. They're nice, they're standard. I'm surprised he doesn't come with fists, but I actually prefer these. Then he comes with a pair of these speedster hands. These are typical of any character that runs, so the Flash or Tracer or something like that. These were expected and are nice, and they also are Tenya's boy hands, and I actually prefer them for that use, but they do the job. Cute little pose. There's Ingenium right there. Make sure when you're posing that the right leg is coming forward when the left arm is coming forward. I don't know if this is really important to anyone but me, but I see a lot of poses like this where the right arm and right leg are coming together at the same time, and that's just not how people run, so there's something for you if you didn't know. And there's a look at Tenya doing his boy movement, where he's moving this arm furiously up and down, telling the class that they're being too loud. Boy. His last hand is a right hand that can hold those tiny glasses we were talking about earlier, but I wanted to take a look at it here. You can use it as a fist if you're having him punch something, but it is sculpted with his index finger and thumb holding something tiny. They are supposed to be put into his hand like this, like he's taking them off of his face, not the other way around, and I would recommend putting this on before you put the hand on, just because it's a small little piece of plastic, you don't want to break that. But there you go, there is a Tenya Iida taking his glasses off because he can't believe what he just saw. He just got beat, maybe. Someone beat him in a race, and no one should be doing that to him. But I do like this. It does add a little bit to the character. You can have him in his confident face and he's just maybe clearing his eyes or something. I don't know. It's a little something. It's cute. It's nice for the character. Let's move on. So he does come with some Quirk effects, and he comes with 4 of these little tiny blasts, I guess you'd say. I mean, it's supposed to be him propelling himself forward with his Quirk, but they look like Iron Man repulsor blasts, which is kind of funny, but let's get these open, get a closer look, shall we? And here's a closer look at one of those, and these are tiny. I kind of wish they were a bit bigger so you could see them when they're on the figure, but here they are. They're sculpted really well. They're in this nice transparent blue plastic, but super small. Do not lose these. Try not to break these. Yeah, be careful with these. Basically what I'm saying. These go into the back of his little thrusters right here. I assume that the longer one goes in on top. And they look good, don't get me wrong. I like how these look on the figure itself, but it's hard to see them, I think. I'll get him in a better pose, but I fear that they're a little too small maybe to get the point across. Alright, so here's a little potential pose that you could have him in. He's getting up for one of his big kicks, and I stand by my original opinion. They're quite hard to see, and the fact that they go straight out means that you're not going to see it unless you're looking at it from behind. And they look great, don't get me wrong, but I think they could have come with another set of these that were a bit longer and maybe curved outwards in either which way. That could have looked cool. It could have added to the overall motion of the pose, but I do like this pose a lot, actually. I think it does look cool, and you can see them a little bit, but not as much as I would like. To accompany this pose and these little effect pieces is this classic My Hero onomatopoeia piece, and it says drrrr, drrrr, like a car sound, drrrr, something like that, I don't know. And as always, you can pose this on the stand with this accompanied smaller support arm. There you go. Now it's like it's floating. Put it on the stand. There's a nice little Tenya Iida pose. I do like the color on this. I like the gradient, but Dur is kind of funny. I think I would have preferred Vroom or something. I don't know. Who am I to say? But there we go. So at the end of the day, this figure is really, really good. I'm not saying it's the best figure of all time or anything, but it does a lot of things really well. Paint application is on point. The amount of expressions is more than I could ask for. And overall, it exceeds my expectations of this figure. I kind of felt that My Hero was something that they don't really care about anymore. It's been out for 5 years now. The hype has kind of slowly started to settle down, but they came and killed it with this release. This Nendoroid Tenya figure is, again, another solid My Hero Nendoroid. They're all pretty solid. Kirishima, not so great. Froppy Tsuyu is better than Kirishima, but not so great. So they came back in 2021 and gave us Dabi and Tenya, and they are both really, really exceptional pieces. So I'm happy with this. I'm trying to be as objective as possible, but it's kind of hard to because it's just a lot of fun. And it's Tenya. You get the character. That's the biggest selling point. They did the character justice, and that's all I really got to say about that. So if you like this review, be sure to give it a like, comment, or subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Stay tuned for more content, and with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.